Hey everybody, welcome back to PixelJunkies. We are playing Division Ubisoft, where we're going in and we're trying to find Tom Clancy. We're playing as Karen, and we'll get you out, Tom, don't worry.
Yeah, we're nearing the end of the game, last quarter of the game.
Oh, oh sweet, we won't have to play this for much longer. I mean, oh man, we're almost...
Well, then we gotta play the second one,
Oh, fuck, I mean, yeah, sweet. You need more of this? Yep. Oh, cool. It's like Destiny if it sucked.
George Washington's ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait now, so what's the main mission in this one?
We're fighting, we're going up against, we're trying to find Tom Clancy.
Oh, yeah. Tom Clancy. I thought we were trying to find George Washington's ghost in
well,
this
I mean,
one.
that, yeah, that's like a secondary.
And in the second game, George Washington comes back to life, and you have to kill George Washington.
Yeah, well, see, what happened was Tom made this, Tom made money, and he invented capitalism, and then so George said, hang on, that's my idea. And so he killed all of New York.
Do you think George Washington was reincarnated as George Lucas?
Yeah. And then so George Lucas unleashed the ranch poison on Manhattan during Black Friday.
Can you imagine all humanity dying out? Like, and what would later be called the ranch poison of 2019. It wiped out more than 60,000 people
Pizza
worldwide.
lovers.
Or the ranch flu, you know, whatever.
The ranch flu.
Oh, that's gonna explode.
Oh, that's a cool little
Is
thing.
it true that George Washington's teeth were made of slaves' teeth?
No, it was ranch.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm like 90% sure on
I thought it was that they were wooden teeth.
No, that's the joke, but like
That's
I think
a
they
joke?
like there's
Well,
another
he probably
fact.
had a number of different teeth throughout his life, let's be fair.
Well, is that a piece of a TIE fighter there, like to the left?
No, it's a satellite.
Oh
thing.
shit! I thought
Yeah, it does kind of look like a
Certain
TIE
It's a
fighter.
really
wing,
tiny,
like a bunch of stormtroopers are ducking cover, like, we gotta get out of here! It's in New York! Holy fuck!
really tiny mount.
Darth Vader, get us out of here!
They're
I
just
mean-
the division is just hinting at the fact that they're gonna do all the Star Wars games from now on.
I mean, I'm sure you guys and Andrew would also have a hissy fit if the next Star Wars game was like The Division, but I would play the shit out of it.
I don't think I would. I actually probably would enjoy it. I
I
don't like
would
this
have less
because
of a hissy fit than Andrew.
I don't have any attachment to the story. Like I'm of like the
Shut
mindset
your
now where it's
fucking
like
mouth.
I just
Star Wars story? What are you talking about?
well, this story. Like the reason that I haven't really got into this is for the same reason that I like haven't watched a lot of new things. Is because
It's got an awesome story.
I don't doubt it.
Great
It's just like it's just one of those things where like I can play Super Smash Bros. Because there's no story right now, and like Mario is like.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of these types of games, though. Like Destiny, same sort of thing. Even Borderlands, really. Like there's a narrative if you want to pay attention to it.
Destiny has a deep lore
like,
spanning tens of hundreds of millions of years.
Fuck that. If anybody came up with that, they should give up because there's no need.
It's
of that.
very interesting, Jordan. It's a mix of high fantasy and high science fiction.
I don't believe
blended
you.
seamlessly together in an epic narrative that you have to read online about because it's not presented in game.
Yeah.
The first game is trash.
It's such an engrossing story they couldn't include it in the game or else you'd be too distracted.
That sounds like shit.
Yeah, I like that cutscene in the first game where it's like, I don't have time to explain the story to you.
Yeah.
It's like, this game's like 4 hours. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Like, fuck off.
We got
I
all
want some
night.
context as to what we're doing here. Jesus.
Shoot the bad guys because they're bad, and the white ball thing is there, and anyway, that's it. We don't have time.
We're fighting the Fallen. Who are they? And now we're fighting the Hive. Who are they? We're fighting the Cabal. Who the fuck are they? We're fighting the Vex. Stop introducing new people. Explain the old ones.
I think that's it. Like I can't invest into something that requires a lot of attention just because I'm like so busy a lot of the time. So it's like when I'm going to sleep or something, I'll put on Family Guy or something that can just kind of run in the background that I can half watch.
Yeah.
And
also, like, Family
games,
Guy's really gotten down in quality the last number of years.
Yeah, I haven't really watched much.
I mean, they've had some gem episodes. My personal favorite episode of Family Guy is the one where they do the trial for Adam West.
Protect him. Oh, he's just taking a sweet fucking
I don't remember that one.
No?
No.
It's really funny because Peter and a bunch of the other characters are on jury together, and it's just a really well written episode. There's a lot of really funny jokes in it. Most of the jokes, I think there's only one joke that doesn't land for me. Everything else is really funny.
Okay.
hell are these guys?
I don't know. I appreciate Seth MacFarlane. I think he's
okay when he's not up his own ass and he's actually trying. Because there's been times where he's been up his own ass. There's been times where he just hasn't given a fuck.
That's true.
I definitely think American Dad is the strongest of his 3 shows because I think it's the most confidently.
Wait,
written.
are you including the Cleveland show in this?
Yeah.
That doesn't actually count.
Why?
Because it didn't last very long. It
Doesn't matter. He still had his fucking name on it.
Yeah, but not really. I wouldn't consider.
I think it's like
He didn't have his name on it because it was about black people.
you can you
Jesus.
can include it, but I think it's kind of like it defaulted to obviously not being the best because it's not on TV anymore.
Yeah. Is American Dad
Also, I love
back?
how everybody was like looking at all the characters.
Still on
from Family
TV. I
Guy.
don't know if they're still making new shows.
I don't know. Like they're looking at all of the Family Guy characters. Like we need a new show that'll help from Seth MacFarlane because the Family Guy is doing well. American Dad is doing well. What can we possibly put on that? What can we possibly spin off of one of these shows to have to make it really successful? And they're looking at all the characters like, oh, I know, Cleveland Brown. It's like, oh hey y'all, or however the fuck he sounds. Like that's a perfect character for
Peter.
he's
I can't
the
do that one
perfect.
at all. That's so
He has the
terrible.
perfect powerhouse personality to carry his own show.
I can know. I'm trying to go through my head and figure
What
out.
the hell? No, 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 no.
Oh shit!
No, I used to be able to do a bunch of impersonations, and now I can't do any of them.
It's the same guy as Herbert.
Yeah. Oh, Peter.
Everybody loves popsicles.
You do an amazing Herbert.
I can't. I used to be able to do that one too, but
Put your mustache
I can't do impersonations like I used to. I can only do like some people's first names and only terribly, and it's like it's the worst. I don't even want to do it.
I find
It's
it better
embarrassing.
when Jasmine, or whatever my wife's name is, comes over and she feeds me pie off my chest like an otter.
Is that Morgan Freeman?
No! Oh, that'd be amazing if Morgan Freeman did the voice of Cleveland and the show got canceled.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I can't do any impersonations. I used to be better. God damn it.
That's always what you want to hear from someone currently doing comedy on a thing. It's like, I used to be better, fuck.
Doing stand up. Like, well, you should have heard me last week, everybody.
I was really good. Why didn't you buy tickets to then?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't. Am I still?
That's how I feel when I perform. I just tell everybody,
Oh
it's
my
like, oh, you
God.
missed a good show.
Anyway, good night.
Gonna try and free up
went
some
to that.
space so I can
It's a
pick up.
terrible Bugs Bunny impression.
What? There's some...
You went,
some-
yeah, what's up, Doc? Oh, man, is that Bugs Bunny?
No, it's Bugsy.
Hey, what's
It's
up,
Bugsy
Jack?
Malone, guys.
Bugsy
Bugsy
Oh,
Malone.
they said Fuzzy Malone. Is
No,
that
it's
like
Bugsy Malone?
you got homely and fuzzy in post?
The 7 flavors of Malone.
the trio are back.
Guess who's
There we
back?
go.
Do you
Back
get
again.
points per
What am I
gun?
gonna do? Ah,
Do your guns accumulate points? Is that what I just saw?
accumulate points.
You have like 160,000 points or something?
That's
Or-
the damage it does.
You know what my least favorite thing about a video
Jesus.
game about
DPS. Anyway.
TV shows when we grew up is that whenever the characters were playing video games in these TV shows, you could tell that the people making the TV shows had never once in their fucking life ever played a video game because the characters are talking and acting like they've never played a video game before.
Yeah,
So, like-
oh, I know that
Yeah.
if you go over there, you will find a high five.
So you're just like they're playing video games all, and they're like super loud, like, "Oh man, I gotta dodge! Oh man, Dragon's coming in! Oh Jesus! Oh man!" Like so they're not swearing on the show.
God fucking damn! Not again!
To be fair, it'd be more accurate to how kids play video games.
Yeah.
Probably.
Screaming
I
at the
just,
top
like-
of their lungs. When will you learn? When will you learn?
Whenever I fucked up in a video game, I want to bite something, and it's the worst thing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's how you lost a phone.
that is how I lost a phone 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, a Georgian person I know who destroyed his phone via consumption.
I didn't eat it. I just destroyed it with my teeth. That was fun. Were you there when that happened?
No, I just saw the aftermath.
Amazing.
No, I don't think we were friends with them at that point.
I don't think so either.
You were probably friends with me because
Yeah.
you were friends with me for about a year or
Yeah.
two before I met Wingus and Dingus.
But I had a BlackBerry, so I don't know if I
What
was
the f-
friends with you when I had a BlackBerry.
Were you dating Erica?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because the first time I ever met you was at Lisa's party
That's
that one
right,
time,
Garrisboro.
and yeah, and I spent I was so drunk I had to be propped up on the couch by our friend Sandy, who's been on the show before, and another friend who I won't mention because she has not been on the show, and I looked at Jordan and I think I said some very unkind things to you. I can't remember.
it wasn't unkind. It was like protective friend, but also like overly nice to a stranger good things.
To be fair, I was drunk. That was my first time ever being drunk. I have never been more drunk in my life. That is the drunkest I've ever been.
50 Jello shots.
I drank.
I don't know how you ate 50 Jello shots.
I ate. Well, I ate.
You're like, there's no alcohol in this, is there?
I ate 16.
16.
I ate 10 until somebody told me that there was a shit ton of alcohol in them, and then I just ate 6 more.
Yeah.
I had wine, I had
time.
martinis, I had beer, I had scotch, I had vodka, I had tequila, I had Baileys, I had rum.
That's gross.
I was so drunk that I woke up the next morning, not with a hangover, I woke up still drunk. In fact, I never did get a hangover from that. I've never actually gotten a hangover from anything. It's like it's like the one good thing about me is I don't get hangovers.
You're like
I don't
part of
know
the
where
shitty
I would be.
Avengers.
Yeah.
The worst superpower.
It's like Meg in Family Guy with her nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even that's more impressive.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you shot the light there, Aaron.
What's your superpower? I don't get.
I don't know. I wonder
to
if
be
I
fair,
would have
Iron Man,
hangovers.
Tony Stark would definitely trade me his Iron Man suit for that power.
You're probably right.
Like an alcoholic, drug fiend.
20 year ago, Robert Downey Jr. would definitely.
If I can be
fucking
hangover
trade
proof and have an infinite libido, I'll trade you my Iron Man suit.
That
take cover.
That guy had a fucking interesting early career.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's what you call it when you're fucking have a crippling addiction to drugs.
Yeah, but it was also like, I don't know, like he was just like kind of numb to the world, and now he's become like a humanitarian and like.
Well, yeah, I mean, shocker, Jordan. People change.
Does that mean you eat
No,
humans?
but like it's not. People don't always change to that degree. And
Robert Downey
it's
Jr.
just a
just
great
went
thing.
nuts in his fame playing Iron Man, so he's just eating people.
He claims to be a humanitarian. He's like, Robert, Jesus Christ, it means that you help people. Like he's like got like a leg in his mouth. Like, oh.
He's currently like trying to like he's got his jaw unhinged to get like a baby down his throat. He's like,
Jesus Christ.
Oh well, shit.
Fuck. All right, vomit this up and let's go do some charity.
So what do you call this then? Like that's cannibalism.
Oh, I get the two confused.
I'm so sad that like he's not gonna be in like any more movies.
I mean, I am.
I mean, he
but
is going to be though.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in the Black Widow movie.
Oh, unless
I like
it's
it. I like
guess
how
it's
he-
a precursor. Isn't
I
it?
like
It
how
takes
he-
place during like the fall of the Soviet Union.
Oh,
I like
okay.
the idea that he left the end game and he was like, "Whew, done with that. Don't got to worry about that anymore." And then and then he looks at his contract. It's like he got 8 movies left to do. It's like,
But I don't think he did. I think that was his last one that he had to be a part of.
yeah, I don't know. I
Right.
don't give
Why
a
did
fuck.
I? It must have been because like I'm pretty sure like the end of Endgame was reshot.
Yeah.
Like they had a different ending in mind or something. I don't know where I heard
My
that.
my personal favorite thing about the MCU is when they spend 3-4 movies setting up Spider-Man to be the next kind of Iron Man of the MCU, like the next kind of like lead character,
yeah.
and then they kick him out of the MCU for about 2 months.
That was scary because I was like, finally, like I don't know. It's just this realization that
Did you
like,
see Far From Home, Jordan?
yeah,
Far From Home spoilers.
Well, not really.
no, it was just the idea that the contract was up with Sony and Disney or whatever, and that Disney obviously wanted more money because the movies that they made were billion-dollar movies. So they're like, don't give us 30% of the first weekend ticket sales, like give us 50% or something. I don't know, whatever. But it was such a shitty deal for Disney. But like, I think it's a great thing because clearly they wanted to do it for fan service. But then when the renegotiation comes up and you're like...
Also, it'd be kind of a shitty...
That's when greed comes out, you know, they're like, well, clearly it did well, do you want to do this again? And Sony's like, no, fuck you.
I mean,
You know?
to be fair, like, it would be a really shitty Marvel comic universe. Like, we have everybody. We have the Avengers, we have the Fantastic Four, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the X-Men, we have the Inhumans, we have everybody. If you have Spider-Man, we have everybody. If you have Spider-Man,
Well,
now, fuck off with
I mean,
Spider-Man,
Sony
he's
probably
lame.
saw that as like leverage.
They definitely did.
Because it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, Marvel are setting up Spider-Man to be the main Avenger now. Well, no deal.
Yeah,
It's like
and
they're going to renegotiate, and we're going to get more.
Well, they did, and they're in the works. Like that's the best part now. It's all in the works, I think. So.
Do you think the guy behind the whole deal was J. Jonah Jameson, and he was actually just trying to like eliminate Spider-Man from the MCU? He was like, we gotta get Spider-Man out of the Avengers. He's a menace.
Actually, I really like that they got J.K. Simmons back.
Yeah,
that was
for that. Like that's perfect.
Yeah. That was a great.
It
was like an Easter egg.
I don't think there's ever been anybody who's taken to a role better than J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, like I literally can't picture him as any other human being. You know, like I can't picture anybody else being able to play.
He has some fucking amazing lines in that movie. Or I love the part where Betty Brant comes into his office. He's like, Mr. Jameson, your wife's on the phone. She says she lost your checkbook, and he goes, "Thanks for the good news," and he hangs up the phone on his wife. Or when he's on the phone with his wife planning his son's wedding, and he's like, "What do you mean $30,000 for catering? What are we serving, the czar? Get some cocktail weenies, a little cheese and crackers." And it cuts to later on in the movie where Mary Jane leaves the dude at the altar, and the parents are, and he's sitting there with his wife watching his son's life be destroyed, and he goes, "I want you to call Deborah." And she goes, "The caterer?" And he says, "Tell him not to open the caviar." Oh man, is that Deadmau5's setup?
So, is there a Deadpool? That does look like an X32 board. That's hilarious.
Jordan knows all the lingo about them
It's a
music
Behringer
shooters.
X32. If you look it up, you'll be like, holy shit, that does look like that. Apparently the next Deadpool movie is part of the Marvel Universe?
Yep.
How did they fucking do that? Is it everything Sony going to Disney now? Like,
Fox.
Well, no, it was owned by Fox, and Fox is now owned by Disney, which is nice because they rescued fucking National Geographic, and hopefully Disney won't ruin it.
Oh shit!
I'm really hoping
now
Disney doesn't fuck around with Nat Geo.
So it was divided amongst
Please
three
leave Nat Geo
companies.
alone.
I was thinking it was only two, but it's three. It's Fox, Sony, and Disney. And
Seriously,
now
Nat Geo's like one of the few magazines that are still worth a damn. Leave it alone. Just let it do
Well,
its
yeah,
thing.
Sony negotiated with Marvel. They still own Spider-Man.
Which is
Nat
great.
Geo's good.
Well, I wonder if they're gonna tie Venom into everything now.
I need to renew my subscription.
Well, I hope they reboot it because whatever the hell that first one was
That was a
trash
great
by the
movie.
look of it. Did you see it, Adam?
No.
Venom?
Okay.
Oh wait, yes I did. I saw part of it.
Venom.
It wasn't. I didn't particularly care for it.
I loved it. I thought it was. I like Tom
Yeah, but
Hardy.
you just
as
like
Eddie
Venom.
Brock.
First, I'm going to bite your arms off, and then your legs, and then you'll be this armless, legless thing rolling down the sidewalk like a turd.
Who the
Was that
fuck wrote that?
was that a
Nobody
real
else. Like there wasn't anybody, not a key grip, not a best boy or whatever on the movie that was like, do we want to rethink this fucking line here? Nobody. Also, you're totally getting shot by that.
I'm fine. I'm in cover. Okay, or don't run. It's fine. Okay.
How's he shooting you from there?
I don't know.
Ow,
Fucking
ow,
move.
ow. To be fair, you're taking those shots like a champ.
Move. Why are the controls not work? Okay, fuck you. It's the first time I had to use my recovery link.
I think the way that we see it, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, that movie looked terrible.
It was
did.
great.
I don't understand.
Why
how
was
you-
it great,
Kinda,
Jordan?
it's kind of like how I don't really think you can do a Joker movie without Batman, and Batman is in the Joker movie. Although you can't really do a Venom movie without Spider-Man because he's kind of fucking essential to the character.
No, because I think Venom is an anti-hero, and therefore, like,
not.
yes, there is.
Well, I mean, he
there's
is now,
tons-
but not when he
Yes,
first came
there
out.
it is.
Well,
I kind of would have liked to have seen in the Joker movie, like we talked about last week, but I liked the Venom movie, or the Joker movie up until it became a comic book movie. Like, I like the idea of this disturbed individual, but if you're going to make it a Joker movie, I kind of thought it would have been interesting to see, like, the contrast between Joker's upbringing and Bruce's upbringing.
Yeah.
Because now you have, like, this disturbed individual, and in this, like, the origin spoilers, their stories are kind of intermixed from the beginning.
yeah. That's
So
true.
it would have been interesting to see,
Yeah.
like...
Well, if you want to
It
go find out what Bruce's story is, all you have to do is watch Gotham, because that's all canon.
But see, what I'm saying is, like, you have this, like, social outcast, somebody who had everything taken away from him, and they turned into the Joker. versus like Bruce, somebody who had everything and had it all taken away again,
Yeah.
but became a hero.
Well, that's the like. There's
I
a
thought it was-
there's a
wow,
thing. There's
yeah,
a thing.
that's a good contrast.
There's
there,
a thing in the Killing Joke. The whole point of the Killing Joke is the Joker's trying to prove, but basically the Joker's trying to turn Commissioner Gordon into a character like him, because what the Joker says is, all it takes for a normal person to become me is to have one bad day. And the whole point of the Killing, well, one of the points I got out of it, it's not really, but like, is that the difference between the Joker and Batman is both the Joker and Batman had a really bad day. The Joker became lost faith in humanity and became a criminal. Batman became one of the greatest heroes in the DC universe based on a bad day.
The only hero in the DC universe.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
Superman's great.
No, there's no Superman.
And what Wonder Woman, Superman,
Batman
Blue Beetle?
is a Superman, and that's all I get out of DC. So that's great.
Wait, what?
Like, Batman is a Superman, so he's perfect.
I mean, he is the pinnacle of humankind, yes.
Yeah, so like we don't need a Superman like that.
We do, because...
But like Superman's dumb. Like
He's not. Fuck off, Jordan.
He's
Superman's
like a brick.
done.
He's like a brick. He's
I
like,
tend to agree. He seems too overpowered.
he's just
First
like,
off,
"Whoop,
there
I'll
are
go
ways
kill you."
to write Superman. Is he overpowered in the Justice League movie? Absolutely, because they wrote him terribly in that movie. Well, I mean, they wrote him
Yeah, well,
terribly
let's not
in
talk
all
about
those movies.
any of the DC movies.
But I mean,
for
there
the
are
most
ways
part.
to write Superman where he still has all of his strength and stuff, but he comes across as a very human, very vulnerable character. The Justice League cartoon springs to mind as the best portrayal of Superman I've ever seen. It's absolutely amazing. They make him feel very strong and powerful, but at the same time, like, it's not like he's getting hit and just like brushing it off. Like, he's getting hit and getting rocketed across the city, or like across the room and crashing into the wall. Like, there's really easy ways to write him where he's still got all of his powers, but he's not like
Invincible.
Yeah, well, not even invincible, but and like there's other ways that you hurt Superman. You don't go at Superman and try to beat him to death unless you're Doomsday or Darkseid.
You try and take out the Earth.
No, you come at him psychologically. You try to make him question his morals. You try to make him, bend to your way of thinking. That's how you go at Superman. That's how you make a really good Superman story, is by taking his unwavering, uncrumbling moral stance and making him and putting it to the test. That's a good Superman story. Superman is the kind of guy who would never kill anybody. Well, what if you created a situation where he was forced to kill somebody? How would that go down with the Man of Steel? Or what if you created a situation where he couldn't save everybody, where he had to choose between, kind of like the Peter Parker situation, where he had to choose between Gwen Stacy and a train car full of people. Yeah. That's an interesting story with Superman. How does that affect him? Like, would he? Now, I would argue that Superman should eventually rise above that, because the reason Superman is not just because he and not even the main reason is because he has all these superpowers. The reason Superman is such a good superhero is because he's a good guy. At the very base of his character, he's a good man. Same with Batman. Batman isn't a good superhero because he's got, crazy martial arts skill and he's a great detective. Yeah. Batman is a good superhero because he's a good man at the heart of things. He's trying to do right by the world. That's why anybody who writes Batman as this stone-cold killer who frightens people and doesn't give a fuck about anybody and is a super edgelord loner is doing a terrible job of writing Batman and should never be allowed writing Batman again, because they don't get fucking Batman. Fuck off writing Batman as this fucking loner edgelord character who's like, I can't trust anybody because my parents died. No, fuck off. That's not Batman. Batman, yeah, he's distrustful of people, but at the same time, he's not like a maniac. He can trust people.
Yeah,
I mean, he trusts Superman.
He's such a detective that he has to second guess everything.
Yeah, and like that's part of his character, but at the same time, like he trusts Superman and like Robin and Wonder Woman.
I would never trust Superman.
Why?
Superman's a piece of shit.
Superman? No, fuck off.
Even
Superman,
after all of your argument, Superman's still a piece of shit.
No, he's not. Like Superman in the main in the main DC comics, like the main Superman has been tested time and time again, and the only times he's ever done anything that hasn't been heroic is when he's been mind controlled, because he always makes the right choice. He's a good person. In it like if I was in a situation where I needed help and I saw Superman coming towards me, I would feel better than if anybody else was coming, even Batman. Fuck off the hate for Superman. Superman's great.
Superman
Love Superman.
Dog shit. Definitely dog shit.
I will defend Superman to the end.
I know. I just can't. I can't get behind him.
Like I could write a decent
He feels
Superman
so
movie.
inhuman. Like he feels so inhuman to me.
That's
like,
good. Yeah, but you're not reading good Superman stories. Superman is arguably one of the most human characters in the.
but even like his whole origin story, like I just did not get wrapped into it the way I did like Peter Parker's or
What, the Last Son of
Bruce
Krypton? Why? That's a good story.
Well, I mean, like they did it with Dragon Ball Z, and that was good enough for me. You know, like
Okay, well, Dragon Ball Z came out is a definite not. I'll say homage to Superman, although there are definitely Superman like it's very clear Akira Toriyama used Superman as a basis for Goku's character.
Yeah.
And it came out like 40 years, 50 years after the original Superman comics were coming out.
I know.
So if anything, Goku is ripping off of Superman.
Yeah, no, for sure, but in a better way.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna say that Goku's not a good character because I love Goku. Goku's a really good. Goku and Superman are very similar because they're both really good examples of a flat character.
Yeah.
Arc, because everyone's like, oh, in order to make a good character, they gotta be deep and they gotta go through this fucking arc. And I'm like, yes, they can. That's a good way of going about writing characters, but you can also have a flat character arc, which is not where a normal character arc is where a character goes through the world and is changed by his experience and becomes better and wiser. So like Luke through the Star Wars movie goes from being a simple farm boy to the hero of the rebellion, and he ends up redeeming his father and killing the Emperor. But and changing along the way for the better or the worse. But a flat character arc is somebody who's already kind of just a decent character, and instead of being changed by the world, they change the world around them. So Goku makes the world better because anybody who encounters Goku and his kind of steadfast philosophy for stuff is changed for that. Vegeta, Frieza, Tien, Piccolo, all of them, they're all changed because all the arcs in Dragon Ball are other characters reacting to Goku and changing around him, not the other way around. Yeah. And it's a good character. That's what Superman does. And that's one of the reasons why he's and it's a very good character trait to have for a person who's going to be in a fuck ton of stories over the course of like 70 plus years.
Sure. Well, and the fact that Superman is still shit.
George, I'm going to fucking clock you in the fucking face.
And that's all we have time for in this super long episode. We'll see you next time.
Peace,
Bye,
bitches.
Next episode will be funny, I promise.